Hi everyone, Ragnamune here. Welcome you to a bit of a different video. This is obviously Gran Turismo 2. I remember one of my DFO chill sessions, I was getting back into love with this game, and that love hasn't diminished, so I figured, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and kind of casually do this speed run, or explain how I kind of came up with this, because I was wondering just how fast I could get this car, and sure enough, this is like a pre-made save, so it's always gonna have this infinity available. But this is the infinity that I found. If you can find one that's like similar, then you should be good to go. But yeah. So with that infinity, we obviously, it's like you can't do a whole lot with your first car. But I ended up casually just thinking, can I beat Seattle short in a stock car? So I raced in one. I found out, you know what? This one Infinity I found from Nissan almost had it for me. But then it's like, I do the Mazda one, and I end up winning. I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. I can actually do this race. And with repeated trial and error, it just came down to so much RNG. Because it's like, while I can do it, I'm going to have a hell of a time trying to figure it out. And when I say it comes down to RNG, I mean it. Like, this first turn here, you got to get into first or you've pretty much lost. You pretty much have to get into first place or as close to first as you can. You want to always be drafting off of these cars if you can when you're behind, because that'll just increase your overall speed. The way that drafting sort of works is that, okay, we're in a really good spot here. Now, I'm in first place right now, which is fantastic, but bear in mind, it's lucky that I'm in first right now. I'm very lucky that I'm in first place right now. At any time, this positioning can change. Like right now I'm in first place. If this was the final lap, I'd win no problem. But that's only because I managed to get ahead. I've had a couple of runs where I ended up behind, and that kind of screwed me over. I'm not going to let this guy get ahead of me. You want to try not to lose your lead as often as you can, because if you lose that lead and you can't get ahead of that car, you are donezo. Like that car right there, if I can get ahead of him right about here, indeed I can. Good. Oh no, I spun! And that's the end of that race. Damn! Like, that's just how these kind of runs go, man. If you can get ahead of them first try, great, but if you can't hold that lead, you're screwed. Mark Buster put it best, it's like, if you're in a really competitive race and you kind of spin out on one of the last few turns, you're kind of screwed. I remember that review too from Classic Gamer. That's one of the reasons that got me into this game, way back when. Because I was like, this was a great game back then that I got to play a bit. Then I saw the review and it's like, this is even better now because we have some good guys talking about it. So we're going to see if we can't get back into first place again. And if we can, that's great. If not, oh well. I unfortunately don't have like pre-made save files of each step for better viewing pleasure. Just draft off them as much as you can. You don't need to brake for this turn. Yeah, we'll be fine. I'm so used to playing some other cars, I'm always early braking sometimes. He took the spot I really wanted to take there. I really wanted to get in front of them before this turn happened. I'm probably not going to catch him now. Yeah, I'm likely not catching either of them unless I get stupidly lucky. Well, that slowdown, probably not. Yeah, so, like, compared to before, you'll notice, like, when I was ahead, I didn't have anything to worry about. But now that I'm behind, I've got things to worry about because it's like I'm not going to have nearly the window of opportunity to get ahead of them now. If they pull too far ahead, it's over. Thanks for the push, pal. I might be able to catch them now. And that is a very questionable might. Oh, I'm catching the yellow. Squeeze ahead of this guy here. Awesome. Got very lucky there. See if I can take it home. That fucking Charger. That Charger might be the enemy. Come on, baby. There we go. We've won. Stay the course. Stay in front of him. There you go. First place. Took me a couple tries, but as you can see, stock car, you can win this. No problem. That was a Shelby GT. Good lord. That was a pretty good time, actually. So yeah, you can do that, no problem. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next, continue. I'm going to try to do this all in one sitting if I can. I'm not going to race that same track 3 times. I kind of don't want to bore you. But when you win, you get the PT Spider, and this sells for $25,000. You want to go ahead and sell that immediately. Now, I initially also sold my Mazda, I believe. I did it in a couple practice runs, just because I always thought, I don't want to go home, I want to go to the shop to get our next car. We'll go to Mitsubishi. New. So, this is the car I bought back then. Well, not back then. The very first time I did this on camera, I did this car, which I just barely can't afford. But it turns out this is actually worse because the acceleration rate that I had was better. But I kind of want to play test a few different things. So let's see what we can do here. I'm going to save state. Let me see. Which one's my state button? Oh, I don't have my keyboard plugged in. Guess I'm not save stating. I just want to see what some of these cars are worth, because it's like, if I could afford a Skyline, I can afford a Sylvia, but no, oh, I can afford a Skyline. Ooh, I might have some fun now, because the Skyline's a really good car. Oh, that's a terrible Skyline, though. The one I want has 4-wheel drive. Yeah, this is the Skyline you want, but it's much more expensive. Yeah, so the Skyline's out of reach, so I can't go ahead and get that. Alright, but the car that has been good to me when it comes to the speedrun is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 6 RS, and it only comes in Scotia White. And it's a good car, mind you. It's a great car for it does what it needs to do. So we're gonna get to a little bit more of a luck sack here. So we're able to enter this international C-class Red Rock Valley race. The prize car for this is the Daishin Sylvia, and it's a fantastic racing car. Fantastic racing car. That actually leaves me with 7,000. I wonder if I could buy like a turbo with it. These are about like 5 or 6. If I could afford a level 1 turbo, I might have to see what it gives me there. But with this particular car, you'll see that our acceleration is really good. Like this, my acceleration in this car is way better than the Lancer GSR. But my top speed is ass. It's like this 100 and some top speed that you see me, like the 120 top speed. That's gonna be my top speed for the entire race right there. So it's a bit heavy in the luck department there, just because I'm not gonna have the top speed for those straightaways. I know my turn's way better than I used to on this track, so it's like I'll actually know how to actually turn. That yellow car in front is going to be a pain to catch, if only because It's not because it's technically faster than me. It's the way the AI is programmed here. Okay, looks like he's about to pass me. No, he's not. Good. I don't know what the hell that yellow car is. So this little turn that's up here, they all slow down. We're not going to have to because we're just a tad bit faster. Now, I'll slow it down there because that's how that works. But you're coming on the inside at about 70 or so. And now we can get behind him and kind of start drifting off him, I guess. So that'll help us keep our speed up. But he's going to pull away, so our drift kind of bonuses, we'll call it, will be canceled. Plus, those cars that are in the back there, they're going to catch up because this is all the faster we can go. So they're constantly going to be accelerating faster while we're stuck at this. So in order to catch him, we got to slow down to about 108, 109 or so to go around this bend, no problem. We're catching the yellow car. Don't know exactly what that is. But now we're at our top speed again. I'm going to brake a little early here to kind of see if I can... There we go. See? So there's that. Oh, he's ahead of us again. He's on the inside. That's a problem. He's on the inside, so he's going to stay ahead of us, likely. That's a shame. We pulled ahead of him very slightly, and we just couldn't take advantage of the second turn. But that's okay. We have one more lap to go. Not the end of the world. Go ahead and brake a little early there to get around the turn easier. Those cars in back we're not really worried about. This one yellow car up front is the only one that's worrying me. Just because I can't seem to get on his ass. Oh! I needed just a little more speed and I could have clipped him and overtaken him there. It's fine though. We have one more lap. That was a little lag there. This is where the older Lancer would have come in handy because it has more top speed. Thanks for the boost. Okay, we are catching him today. Okay, we overtook him entirely there. Stay the inside. Stay the inside. Stay the inside. Have control of it. Get a boost from him. He's going to overtake us. He's going to overtake us a bit. But because we have control of this inside corner, we should be good. Ah, so you come down to that last turn. That yellow car is giving me shit. I don't like that. That yellow car is giving me shit right now. We didn't take that turn properly. He's won. Grrr! That one car! We did so great. Like, once we got to second, we held it. But that one car in front, you can see why RNG is a pain in the ass at times. And don't tell me that's not RNG. Don't tell me, oh, you're not skilled enough. I did all this in one take before. It comes down heavily to luck and not necessarily the speed of your car. How fast can you get into that first place spot to make the other cars start acting like idiots? So whatever the hell that yellow car was, I should have finished the race just to see what the name of that car was. That was a bit unfortunate. Man, that kind of pisses me off a bit. The car ahead of us isn't the same one. Use that car as a barrier there. My freaking nose, I swear to God, only when I'm recording or trying to do something of the gaming nature does it decide to go full-on itching mode just to distract me. You know, you ever have that feeling, guys? Do you ever have that feeling where, like, there's just some part of your body, whether it's like your nose, your arm, your leg, or something, you have that itch, but you're in the middle of something, you don't want to scratch it, and it's just going to irritate the everlasting hell out of you until you pay attention to it. That's my nose right now. And also one of the worst spots, too. So it looks like that same car, he's just had a die change up above, is ahead of us. So I just have to get ahead of him somehow. So you'll notice that he kind of changed. You'll notice that once I got ahead of him, he just immediately shifted gears. So the game is going to program him to hang back a bit because my car is just a little bit less powerful. But once I hit my top speed, the kid gloves come off. So those cars that are behind us, they're going to slowly come forward. Now, thankfully, we have the advantage because we know the speeds that we can take these turns. While they slow down a tad bit more in order to compensate for their turns. So you can see here we're doing great. I never know the right speed to take this turn, sadly. A car up above is trying to get ahead of us. Sadly, they're not immune to the, they are not, they don't lose their drafting bonus. If they're behind you and they're able to draft off of you, then sucks to be you, they have a fair shot at getting ahead of you. But that's usually just their pathing kind of, that's their pathing sort of kicking in. So he's drafting off of me because that's the fastest way to get ahead of me. You might have, like, it's very rare, but you might have to do something about them. Really wish I didn't hit my table there. So he'll pull ahead of us, but we'll be able to pull right back ahead because we always take the inside on this. So done a bit too much there. So back then, we pulled ahead, so we slowed down more. That was a really clean turn. That was a really clean turn. That was a clean-ass turn. We should win now. But remember, there are no guarantees in speedruns. Only RN Jesus, or as I call it, RN Goddess. The random number goddess, because it still fits. Always trying to keep a player down. And I don't mean a pimp, because we're not pimps here, we're players. We're not pimps and players, no matter what you think, bro Fresco. We are clearly sane human beings. With 44 Magnum, most powerful handgun in the world. This is going to be a close one. This is going to be a close one. Because we hit that wall there at the very end. We should be good. We're just going to do that just to make sure he doesn't pull ahead of us. And there we go. There's our first place finish. I hate it when it takes me a couple tries, but that's the way it is. So it was a Skyline. So yeah, those are Skylines we're up against. So that's kind of where you can kind of get your gist of that stuff. But there you go. Stock Lancer beat this. No sweat. I'm not going to save my game because I haven't made a copy of this. I actually have a copy, but I don't know if there's like data on it, so I'd have to recheck that later. But there you go. And now that we've done that, we've only done 2 races so far, guys. Bear that in mind. We've only done 2 races, and we've already got ourselves the Daishin Sylvia. And this is a fantastic car to be using. So something I wanted to test out for a while now is, can that Daishin Sylvia actually straight up win that race that I'm trying to race? But as much as I want to make it win that race, the problem is I would be short on the funds of getting the Escudo, so I have to do a race in the middle of this in order to get that to work. and there's not really that great of a speed race for the Daishin Sylvia. It's a great car. Don't get it wrong. It is a fantastic racing car. That's not where I want to go. So we want to go back to Grand Touring. So if you beat Grand Valley, you would get the Mugen NSX, which is a great car, but it spins out a lot. It is very bad. So we always go midfield. Easy 3-lap race. I barely touched the Daishin Sylvia, but just to show you what you need to do, get into the habit of switching on your super soft tires, because for whatever reason, that increases your handling capabilities by a lot. I never did it in the speedrun because this is an easy enough race you kind of don't need to, but just get into the practice of doing that. You might think, oh, I shouldn't do that because it'll save 2 seconds. 2 seconds saved on the menus might be 5 seconds lost on the racetrack, so bear that in mind unless you are like fully confident in what your car can do. Now you're thinking, okay, we're not gonna win this race. Here's the power of the Daishin Sylvia right here. We go ahead, early brake. Like, we're running freaking racing gears. Like, these cars that are ahead of us, like more Skylines and Eclipses and stuff like that, they can't hold a candle to this car. You're thinking, how? He's already in first place. You'll see. My nose is itching again. Grr. Stop that. Yes, I've been doing the majority of this with an itching nose. Can you believe that? But look at that. Like I did that. Excuse me. Oh my god. Why? Ugh, I swear. I'm gonna murder this nose. It doesn't help that it's like, oh god, spin out. We don't want that. A spin out at this point would only cost us time, as long as it wasn't on the 3rd lap. This turn right here is really notorious because it's like you need to shift all the way down to 1st gear and be at like 30 to 40 miles an hour. It is a notorious turn, but there you go, look at that. That is a beautiful work of art right there. I played this on the PSX 1.13 emulator. It works fine. Your color's going to be a bit shinier due to the fact that all of its components are in-house. I think it uses a DX3 graphical plugin of some sort. Strange thing is, I tried recording with that, and OBS, for whatever reason, has a hard time keeping up with it and handling it. The card you're seeing me use, why I'm not really, you know, wigging out frame rate wise or sync up wise, I've kind of fixed that problem, it looks like, is just because, hopefully I fixed it anyways, is because I'm using a soft plugin, and for whatever reason the soft plugin, it emulates color really fucking well. I want to see what the color would look like if I were to play Spyro 2 on this, because that was a Let's Play project I had planned really long ago. I did like maybe, I think I did all 3 worlds up until Robotica Farms, and I was either burnt out or my commentary was just garbage. So I couldn't really think of, saying anything, I couldn't think of doing anything. It was just really weird. I kind of want to see if I kind of want to submit this kind of a run idea to speedrun.com. The idea, not so much the run itself, because the idea is that you start with no licenses, you work your way through the licenses, and then after you've gotten your licenses, you see how fast you can get the Pikes Peak car, since it's considered best car. Because we've already got official runs where you get all the licenses you need for the game. Yeah, I did that at 55, that was pretty good. Where you get all the licenses you need for the game, and then you buy a car, and then you basically use that one car throughout the entirety of the game to get a certain car. Then when you get all those racing class cars, you sell all those off to buy the Ford GT1 road version. You'll buy a level 4 turbo, and I don't know if they buy super soft tires for it, but you buy level 4 turbo for it, and you beat the world championship with it. But there you go. That's Midfield Raceway, and you can see why it's so easy with that car. And the car that we just got is the Jack Skyline. It is the crowning achievement car, because with that car, you're basically on the fast track to getting exactly what you want. So there's the here's the Unisa Jax, very powerful machine, easily one of my favorites of all time in this game, just because it is your gateway to the Pikes Peak Escudo. So now we rinse and repeat the following race. I'm gonna race it once just to show off like the prize that you can get, because I am not gonna bore you by doing it 3 fucking times. If you want to, you'll just look that up. Oh, remember, most important thing, always switch to super soft tires. I'm going to check my settings really quick to see what I'm at. Alright, I am at perfect conditions. I have been trying to tune this thing very similarly on any of my Skylines or vehicles just to see if it helps them out, because I have had so much success in playing this game with this particular car. So, just to give you an idea. So this race right here is the race. We have to race this course 3 times because of the prize car. Now, with the Unisa Jax, you're not guaranteed victory. You're not necessarily guaranteed victory, but if you know your turns very well, like if you know what you're capable of, then this racetrack becomes an absolute non-issue. Like, if anything, I kind of want to get the Unisa Jax, and I want to take it through World Tournament, the World Circuit, just to see if I can use this particular car to beat that mode. Because if I can, then I'll probably have more fun doing it with this than the Suzuki. There's a lot of cars I kind of want to take through World Tournament mode just to see if they can handle it. But this track, it's 5 laps. In total, we're driving Red Rock Valley for 18 laps, guys. 18 freaking laps. Can you believe that? But I tried this with a Mugen. It's like, at certain key turning points of this track, I keep hitting my mic, sorry. I'm actually able to scratch my nose while this damn straightaway's up. I love this track. I tried this with a Mugen NSX, and I can win this race with the Mugen. The problem is, the Mugen is not 4-wheel drive. It is, I believe, FR, or... It's like FR, I don't know what the hell drivetrain that means. But maybe full rear or something like that. Full frontal, full rear. Mid-range, maybe that stands for mid-end. For the mid-engine is like mid-range. I don't know if I'm getting this right. If there's any car aficionados out there that tell me about drivetrains, let me know if I'm getting these right. Taking a quiz, boys. But yeah, this particular car's 4-wheel drive, so it spins out way less. Whereas the Mugen NSX spins out a lot because you run that risk of oversteering. So there you go. And one of my favorite things to do during these speedruns is like, how fast can I complete some laps of Red Rock Valley? Because I'm always trying to look for ways to improve my times. I'm always looking for ways to improve those times, as you should in racing games, because it's like if you're good at a game in certain spades, makes me wonder if I'm able to buy this thing dirt tires, could I also beat the Suzuki Pikes Peak Escudo? Because this looks like this would also be a bit of a rally car. That's kind of what the R symbol stands for in this game. It stands for rally, but I always classify it as racing, because it has the racing modifications done to it, if that makes sense. I initially wanted to do a Let's Play of this game as well. I recorded quite a few episodes in crap quality, and I ended up deleting them because I uploaded the first episode thinking, okay, this will be nice, but because I forgot to take the music off, I got hit by 3 copyright claims back to back to back, which means no money for me, which I don't care about, obviously. But it's like, I feel like if you do that too much, then YouTube starts getting angry with you and decides, you know what, you're suspended. Like, I don't feel I'm breaking anything by having background music while I'm playing a goddamn driving game. At least I don't think I'd like to. Plus, these songs are old as time itself. So it's like certain things I wish would just go to like public domain for good use. I mean, look at video games. Nintendo is still suing people for playing the original Super Mario Brothers, trying to monetize those old-ass videos, even though the game is like 30-some years old. Like, come on, Nintendo. We know about your copyright practices, and they are bullshit. They are bullshit. It's really, when I look at it, it's the only reason I am proud of, but sad for Chugga Conroy at the same time, because he signed that. He is on board with that. He is, all of his Let's Plays, if you'll notice, are of Nintendo games only, and he is part of that partnership, I would like to say, where he only shows off Nintendo games. When you sign that contract with Nintendo, you are legally obligated to only play Nintendo brand games. And it's like, we get that they are awesome, but come on, Chugga. You've got to see some form of silver lining here, because I remember in the vlogs you were playing some Sega CD titles with your friend Steven, which, by the way, you two are so freaking great together. And I'm glad that as of when I saw that video about the cats, I'm glad that his kitty is a-okay. Yay, Sagan! Like, some of the old videos of the cats and whatnot are great. You know, like, da-da-da-da-da, cat on the fridge, da-da-da-da-da, because that's where he eats. Like, that's golden right there. I'm so sorry about Teddy too, man. I hope everything is good with you now. I wonder if he's got another cat, because I know he had Teddy. I want to know if Kirby's still alive and kicking. I also want to know if he still rooms with Massayanella. Just out of curiosity, I don't ship them. But it's like, when you live together, it's like, there might be certain ground rules that get set and stuff like that. I do wonder if he will ever find that significant other in his life, too. Because if he does, props to him. It's going to be great. But there's the race right there. I'm going to stop talking about love life in Let's Players and potential shipping. Speaking of Let's Players, I saw Donna Bells was actually... She uploaded a video saying she was streaming with Tyler over the weekend. And it's like, oh my god, she's back. There we go. But that's our new car. There we go. I'd have to race that track 2 more times. That would get me 100 grand in credits. Good lord. That would give me about 100 grand in credits. But here's the prize car right here. The Speed 12. Just winning this alone is worth its weight in money. So by selling that, that's 500 grand. I'd have to race that track 2 more times, and then I would get my Pikes Peak Escudo, which would be amazing. You would also sell your Unisa Jex for an extra 250, and your Daishin Sylvia for the extra 125, because at that point, when you have your money, if I were to race that 2 more times, I would have 1.6. I'd have 1.6 million. 96. I'd have 1,696,260. Selling this would break me past about. Let me think here. It would break me up to a certain point, and then this would be worth 250. And then I would also sell this just to like, I'd sell everything, and that would put me past the point where I don't have to care about money anymore. I just sell everything. Bada boom, bada bing. That's it. We've won. And then with your 2 mil. You would obviously go over to East City, go to Suzuki. You'd end the run by buying a special car, the Pikes Peak Escudo. So there you go. I'm actually going to load up. You're probably not going to see it, but I'm going to try and load up a... we're going to hit exit there. I'm going to see if I can load up the emulator again. I'm going to change out the memory card. Let's see if I can find the proper memory card to use here. It's probably in PSX. Oh. I gotta remember my keyboard isn't plugged in because I'm using the controller. CD images. Cards. Doesn't match search. Cards. Doesn't match search. All files. Because these memory cards here, the bin files, they actually do work. I want to see it's GT2 main or GT2 LP. We're going to hit up the main, hit OK. That memory card should be recognized. CD images. Gran Turismo 2. Yes, this is an emulator. Gonna speed this up ever so slightly. Okay, so we do have loading save data. That's nice. And I'm just going to show you I have like a small collection of my cars here to cap off our little hangout session with Gran Turismo. Move this over a bit. There we go. Now I can actually see everything. Apologies if it gets out of sync, just because it's like I'm booting this up from scratch. Okay, there's part of my... yeah, I was using this before, and then I kind of did more. But here's like a good collection of some of my cars here. I got my good old Lancer here. I think this is race class? No, it's a street racer. It's a decent racing class car, too. Here's the Mugen NSX you get from one of those tracks. It is the Grand Valley race. This was actually my gateway into like figuring out where I get all the good cars, because I randomly challenged the Grand Valley Raceway just because, you know what, I want to see if I can win one of these higher up races. I ended up succeeding, and this was my prize. And I was like, woo! There's the Eunice Jax. Here's the Skyline. No, here's the Escudo, the car that we are obviously working towards. Great car, best car in the game. This Miata, I'm trying to think of what this was. I think I was using this to, yeah, I was using that to break through some of the other stuff. Here's the Castrol Supra, a very nice car. This is a great car, but its handling is ass. It's a great racing car. Like it's great, but not the greatest. Here's one of the prize cars, the Cure R33. It's another four-wheel drive car. I can't remember who manufactures that one. I think it's Nissan. Here's another Skyline. This is the Zexel Skyline. It functions very similarly, but I prefer Eunice Jax. The RX-7 Le Mans Edition, you win this, you're racing in one of those, I believe there's one of the races that you use. Not one, but three of them. It's like when you win this car, you use them in that particular race the entire rest of the way. Here's a Nissan 300ZX. Decent racing car here, too. The R390 GT1 Le Mans. I can't remember where you win this one, but I want to say it's the prize. I want to say it's like one of the prize cars for. I want to say it's one of the prize cars for winning the World Championship. Here's a nice buyable car for $1 million, the Pennzoil Nismo. This is a great racing class car as well. You actually drive it in license mode. The Tavion Trampio FTO is one of my favorite low-grade racing cars, just because I swear this thing will never spin out. I don't know what it is about that car. Look at this boxy car here. This is a Formula 1 if I ever saw one from back in the day. But that looks cool. I like this. I've actually been racing this a little bit in arcade mode, and I have spun out once, but that's because of bad control. Did I buy this twice? Let me see here. Oh, this is Tom's Supra. Okay. This one's about the same. I think Tom's Supra is better than the official Castrol one. That's just me. Here's another buyable car, an Alfa Romeo 155 touring car. This is the car that you race in World Championship mode, the GT1 road version. Awesome looking car. Just because, not really awesome looking, but it's like, I want the racing version of this, and there's only 2 of them in the game, and I have to win them both in convoluted ways. I have to either A, get gold medal in all of the super licenses, screw that, or I gotta play freaking World Championship mode. That's about 45 minutes. That's about 45 minutes to an hour of my time just to finish, and then it's a 1 in 4 chance. And I'm trying to get that on my actual hardware, my actual PS2, PS1 over there. Let me quote the great Mark Bossler from Classic Game Room. But here's a Mini Cooper, just like Winnie Cooper from the Wonder Years. Hey, I love Mark Bossler. He's an awesome guy. Here's a nice 4.6 sedan. You drive a version of this in license mode. I was like, you know what? I kind of want one for myself. Here's Ford GT40. Nice little car here. And then here's the GT40 racing class car. Somehow less horsepower, but faster. Now I got to figure out where the hell I got all these, because here's the Arta Zexel Skyline. BP Trueno. I don't know where the hell I got that. I want to say it came from the other the other tournaments. Here is the Lancer Rally car. Here's the other Pikes Peak, the Cultist. I actually tried this in like a racing mode. This thing sucks. Don't let its van exterior fool you. This thing sucks. Here's the GT Elise. This is a decent racing class car, but it's not the greatest. Cerberus Le Mans, pretty cool car. The Altezza Le Mans, 3000 GT. I think this is a Honda car. The GT90. This looks like freaking dye this thing black, and I think it looks like Kit from Knight Rider. The Viper GTS LR. I hate Dodge vehicles with a passion because they spin out on me so freaking much. Do I have two of those? No, okay. Huh. Thought I had two of them things for a second there, but there you go. Denzo's Supra. That's a decent car there. The R390. This is a Nissan racing class car. Kind of functions the same way for the same price, but don't buy it. And here's a Mercedes CLK I souped the hell out of. Decent car right there. You can get a Vector. You can get... I think Classic Gaming would put it best. If you can't afford the car, they'll just put it in the game. We have a little bit of muscle cars here, like the Superbird. There's the PT Spider that I just won randomly one day. I built up a nice purple Charger 71 Dodge Charger. There's the Stingray 69, really good car. And here's a Nissan Skyline I souped the hell out of just because I am a nut for Skylines. I think this is like my 6th Skyline in my garage. Here's an Audi Le Mans Quattro that I just don't have the racing spec for it, but it's a pretty good car for a pretty low price. So it's like if you want to build your own car for racing, there you go. There's a Nismo 400. I think I was gonna soup it up. Oh no, it's because I souped up this one. There you go. And here's an interesting car. This thing has a history behind it. The R33 Drag. There was supposed to be one more racing type in this game, drag racing, and this was going to be one of those cars that was like the king of drag racing because it's got amazing top speed. Because of time constraints, drag racing got cut, and what ended up happening was they forgot to take out some of the cars that were meant strictly for drag races. This car being one of the King Mothers, because while it has amazing horsepower, it's like 1,000 horsepower, oh god, I should easily use this. This thing's handling is flat out terrible. I'm not going to show it off, but it's like, this thing's handling is flat out garbage, like, ugh. But I hope you enjoyed this little hangout session. Just something to have on in the background while you're eating some dinner or doing something, because, you know what, I like playing games casually. I know I haven't done a lot of Let's Plays as of late, but that's only because my hardware is crap, and I'm trying to fine-tune all my settings with what this is so that when I import it over to another computer that I'm hoping to get in soon, because my guildmaster on my guildmaster in World of Warcraft said he would be sending me a nice computer just to kind of help me out frame rate wise and such. So I'm kind of hoping he delivers on that. If not, then, well, it's as he says, it is what it is. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little hangout session. I will see you guys next time, hopefully with some other game to hang out with, because it's not just going to be Dungeon Fighter. Anything I do Dungeon Fighter-wise will probably get stale and repetitive really fast. I kind of want to mix it up, play some games here and there to kind of get back into the groove of Let's Plays, because God knows I need to. God knows I need to, and God knows that I am the most boring-ass person on the planet, but I'm a fucking try. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. See you later. Take it easy. Bye.